the Renaissance, a time of art, power, betrayal, and intrigue. The Borgia family, infamous for their ambition and ruthlessness, took center stage during Europe's most turbulent time. And while you may not have heard of their name, not all know their story. Welcome, cinephiles, to this deep dive into the Borgia TV show. A show that is rich in storytelling and brilliant in performances, and it remains an underrated classic in historical drama. If you're a fan of historical dramas, particularly those set in the late 15th century, the Borgias should be at the top of your watch list. This series, starring Jeremy Irons, is a hidden gem in the world of historical fiction. Well, let's explore why. At the heart of the Borgias is Jeremy Irons' portrayal of Rodrigo Borgia, the man who would become Pope Alexander VI. Irons' performance is magnetic. He's brilliant at portraying a man who's both charismatic and ruthless, a loving father and a man who will stop at nothing to maintain power. Rodrigo Borgia in Irons' hands is a character torn between his religious responsibilities and the human vices of greed, lust and ambition. The complexity of Rodrigo's character makes him feel deeply human. He's not simply a villain, but a man driven by the love for his family, loyalty to his children, and a strong desire to solidify his family's position in history. May I ask you, why should you watch The Borgias? Aside from Irons' standout performance, the show immerses you in treacherous politics of the Renaissance period. Power plays, assassination plots, religious hypocrisy, and family betrayal. We see it all. This show isn't just about Rodrigo Borgia. It's about the entire Borgia family, each member with their own agenda. Cesare Borgia is one of the most compelling characters in the series. He's the ambitious son, a man who wants to see the Borgia name ascended to greatness, even if it means committing unspeakable acts. His evolution throughout the series is both fascinating and disturbing, and then of course there is Lucrezia Borgia, whose own tragic story is at the heart of the show. You see, despite being portrayed as a seductive person in popular culture, the Borgias offers a more nuanced take, showing Lucrezia as a woman who is consistently manipulated by the powerful men around her. Set against the backdrop of Italy in the late 15th century, the Borgias takes place during one of the most dramatic periods in the European history, the Renaissance. This was an era of political intrigue, art, music, literature, culture. This was a place where Italian states like Rome, Naples, and Florence vied for power. The Vatican itself was not just a religious institution, it was a political powerhouse, and the Borgia family saw an opportunity to control it. Rodrigo Borgia's ascent to the papacy in 1492 was a move that would change history. With power comes danger, and the Borgias would quickly find themselves embroiled in plots, wars, and betrayals. The cast of the Borgias is nothing short of stellar. Aside from Jeremy Irons, Francois Arnaud's portrayal as Cesare is one of the most stand-up performances. His character goes through a remarkable transition from a devout man of the cloth to a mercenary to the most ruthless killer, and Arnaud nails every moment. And Holiday Granger as Lucrezia brings a mix of vulnerability and strength to the role. As the show progresses, you can see her character's internal struggles and the tragic fate that awaits her, despite her efforts to escape her family's influence. Then, of course, there is the incredible supporting cast, like Giovanni Sanzio and the ever-devious Cardinal della Rovere, whose intriguing, complex, fighting character who is the sort of, how can I put it, the yin to the yang to the Borgias. I mean, it adds so much tension to the story, and if you do know the history of this period of time, oh my god, the whole sort of show really is truly magnificent. And with these back characters, you know, like Machiavelli, the Medici family, Della Rovere, you know, the Schwartzes, it all combines into one genuinely very, very gripping story. While the show didn't receive the widespread acclaim it deserved, I think that it should have, but you know, critics are critics, and some people don't really like this sort of genre. The Borgias did receive nominations and awards. Jeremy Irons was nominated for a Golden Globe for his portrayal as Rodrigo Borgia, and the show garnered attention for its stunning costumes, direction, and period authenticity. Unfortunately, despite the show's quality, it never received the levels of recognition that, say, Game of Thrones did, but that makes it all more intriguing. It's a rare find, a show that dives deep into the politics, power struggles, and scandals of a family that literally changed the course of history. This show is also a fascinating window into the cultural and political climate of the Renaissance period. Power was often achieved through brutal means, whether it was through military conquest, religious manipulation, or seduction. The Borgias were known for using all of these tactics. The show explores the deeply corrupt nature of the church, the violent politics of the time, and the way religion and family loyalty intertwine into a dangerous game of power. It paints a picture of an era where the line between the sin and virtue was often blurred, and the Borgias played both sides to perfection. So, why should the Borgias be at the top of your list? Why should you watch the Borgias as your next TV show, your next binge watch? Because you see, if you're fascinated by the Italian Renaissance, if you enjoy high stakes dramas or love a good, morally grey family saga, this show is for you. It's gripping, beautifully crafted. It's a show, it's a series that offers an unparalleled look at one of history's most controversial families. So, if you haven't seen The Borgias yet, now is your time. It's a series that rewards viewers with rich historical detail, complex characters, and some of the finest performances in historical drama. Don't let it stay underrated. Give it the recognition it deserves. I implore you, please give this show a go, because you will not regret it. So, anyway, that's been me for today as a little sort of deep dive into the Borgia TV show. Now please hit that like button, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know if you've watched the Borgias before. Let me know what you think of it. Let me know any other historical TV shows that you've watched or, you know, recommend to the other viewers. But please leave a comment below, hit that like button. As I said, subscribe. It really helps the channel out. It helps me out, and it means I can bring more content to you like this. So anyway, thank you so much. Hope you all have a lovely day. Be lucky, stay cheeky, and have a wonderful day.